Podcast, episode 7, I think, this season 4. I'm your host, Stephen Borbell. We are joined by the normal cast of comedians to my right, and a new face, a young face at that, above me right now. Coulter Clark, how are you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
Well, thank you for joining us with us here tonight, and we're gonna get to learn more about you tonight. But Carl, Richard, y'all are back. Richard's actually here. How are y'all doing tonight?
Was I not here last week?
You were, but you're just sporadic.
Oh yeah. It could be like that sometimes. Not doing good. Been just kind of a chill week from work. I've been totally not playing video games all day, and yeah, it's been a good week. Carl?
Yeah, I'm still depressed from my Tuesday night. Like, still frustrated. I'm here. It's been a long week. So I would love to look forward to next week, but man, I look forward to this week too. So I'm here. Let's get into this.
Hold on, Carl. You can't look forward to next week because you'll probably hit the bump out of pit road at Charlotte.
You know what? That'll be the highlight of my night. At least there's consistency in that. So exactly.
Well, let's dive right into it. This past week, we were at Kansas for the Accelerate Studios 250 um, at Kansas. Yeah, like I said. We had a first-time winner this season, which was great to see. First-time winner in BRB at that. And that is none other than Christian Barnes. I think it was a real feel-good kind of story to see Christian get a win. He had some speed earlier in the season at some racetracks, and I don't know if it was just the caution also fell right for him at the same time, and being fast led to that win. Um, Seeing everything from the race control booth is a little bit different. I feel really disconnected from the actual strategies of the race, if that makes sense. So, what did y'all see from that?
I think what helped him is earlier. Oh God, when we had that earlier caution in the third stage, a lot of the back half of the field pit, and I think it gave them an extra 10 laps of fuel. So they were
Correct.
able to run longer on that fuel, and then Selby stepping on his own manhood there and spinning out of the pits brought out a caution that completely flipped the whole race
I
on
wasn't
its
Selby, that was
Fritz.
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 That was
was,
Fritz.
oh, it was Fritz. I'm sorry. My bad, Selby. Fritz. But whatever.
All right.
But I mean, Christian Barnes has showed speed all season, so it's great to see him finally get a win. It was I do think Ronnie Osmer definitely would have had that win overall if we would have stayed green. But nah, they kind of lucked out, and I'll say it was a little bit of a luck because it was like an unforeseen caution coming out of the pits, and they just happened to fall on the right strategy for them because, like I said, at that point when that caution came out early in the third stage, people in front, they're not going to give up that track position just because the way Kansas runs now with the new aero package that iRacing brought to the Cup cars. It was really, really hard to pass. If you were behind a car doing the same line as them, your car got really, really tight, so you couldn't get a run. You'd have to pick different lines, which is what we saw throughout the entire field. So it was the back half of the field. They gambled with newer tires and more fuel, so they were able to push their fuel a little bit longer. Then the unfortunate caution came out, flipped the whole race on its hood, putting that top 5 or 6 drivers in prime position to be able to take the win. And Christian definitely took advantage of that and did well.
Shoot, I was going to say something that just completely slipped from my mind.
My bad.
Oh, the racing product. No, you're fine. Seeing it didn't look necessarily hard to pass from the outside. It was actually really entertaining to watch passes happen, and the outside and the inside also be both viable options for some people. Some people it looked like they stuck to the inside more so. I don't know if it was better on tires, worse on tires, just more comfortable for some. But then also, I feel like we haven't seen it in a while of, especially on a mile and a half, of you can get loose and wreck yourself based off how you enter a corner. We saw it a handful of times, not just one person in I think two of us here, or two of the people here, had similar instances. Um, yeah, but Coulter, take us through your race. How did it go for you? What did you see? Well, I know one thing you saw, but
Saw the underside of a car, that's for sure.
Right.
No, it was. I had fun. It was great racing. The early parts of stage 1, we had a couple cautions, 1 or 2, right?
yeah,
So
I think we ran like almost 30 laps or so before the first caution. It was a good thing to see.
You're welcome.
and I'm not one to save my tires well, so I don't like green flag runs, but man, I did something different and it kind of worked for me until, we all got bunched up, and then when Renner went around, I hit him because I had nowhere to go. I think I had Zach Maddox on my outside or something. I don't know. But that put me back. And then when KP decided to insanely correct the race car, that ended my night.
AP
So
for everyone, that's Caden Perkins.
Aiden Perkins, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. And then it was just 8 minutes of damage from that. And then I was making small mistakes. I actually decided to not look at my screen for the front stretch, and I put the car on the wall. So that gave me about 10 minutes of damage. So at that point, I was just done.
That's not the way I'm sure you wanted it to go. Same with Carl. Not the way you probably wanted it to go. Carl, from your perspective, how did everything go? Well, I say everything.
Yeah,
how did-
my
how did-
20
how did the
laps,
18 laps
my
go?
20 laps on the track were great. Man, the practice race went great for me. All right, I was able to save tire, make strategic moves throughout a run, and most of this is going to come from the practice race because that's all I really knew. I was excited for the race. What I should do, I should just pull a Patrick and say, I hate this damn car, hate this damn track, and just not want to go into Tuesdays. But no,
Stop doing the practice races. If you're having good practice
man.
races, just first race Tuesday. There you go.
I don't know. Lap 5, coming out of turn 2, I was racing with Braden Van Wingerden, and he started skating up the track, and I got out of it because I was barely at his fender, I think. So I was like, there's no point in to fight right now because it was for 18th, and it was lap 5. I was like, there's no point to push it. I was just just trying to get my line, and that kind of caused a reaction where the 54, our guest here, had nowhere to go and got into the rear end of me, and it made my car really unsettled and put me into the infield on the backstretch, which would have been okay. I didn't get any damage. I was able to avoid the wall, but it didn't cause a caution. No caution. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. And what's funny is when I spun, Johnny spun. He got into Nick Renner there, and he spun too, but he got damage. So Johnny comes out, goes into the pit lane because he has damage, goes down 3 laps. I stay out, and all I'm doing is like, okay, I just need to stay on the lead lap. I know I have a stage caution coming, because like I said, we were halfway through the stage at that point. So I just was chilling. I was about between 8 and 9 seconds ahead of the leaders. And Johnny comes out of pit road and says, "Oh, you know what? We're just gonna chill." I'm like, okay. I'm not thinking nothing of it, not worried about anything, and I'm just saving my tires, managing that gap because I didn't want to burn up my stuff too much, but at the same time, I don't want to, fall too far back. And I was like, okay, no big deal. And next thing I know, we're going into 3. I'm letting off the throttle at my marker, just getting ready to go into 3. And I see the 75 bumper right in my mirror. I was like, what is going on? Sent me loose. I almost had it saved, but I caught the apron, sent me into the wall, blew my engine into my night. So, and that didn't cause a caution either. So I couldn't even get cautions out of that. So again, I think iRacing is picking on me a little bit.
You can't even get a
Like to
caution.
say, I completely
I
forgot.
can't even get a
that
caution.
happened. Completely forgot I got into you. But I would like to say that was my arc brake moment. I was on the brakes and the car was not stopping.
Oh
And I
man,
mean, to be fair, it wasn't even an arc break situation. Like
it
it's
wasn't. It was just I was getting out of the throttle, and I figured everyone else would be trying to save, and there's a bumper of a 54 in my butt. So that's all.
Pause.
No pause.
sorry.
No lube either, apparently.
Oh, whoa, okay. Um, so I'm gonna read off our top 10 here real quick, and then bring it to something interesting I see. Um, Christian Barnes, like we said, is your race winner. Brendan Maddox with a good race all night. He was up in the fight, and from a 1,000-foot view, it was good watching him race the way he did. It was really relieving to see. Gray Walker in third, good run for Gray. Ronnie Osmer fourth. Braxton Skinner, I think backs up his good Bristol run too with a good Kansas run.
Back top fives for him.
Yeah, that's some good momentum there. Zach King with a probably a career high besides his win, finishing sixth. Richard Wolsifer seventh. Joshua Parent eighth. Dustin Stallings ninth, and Andrew Rattel rounding out the top 10. And not to go without mention, Sam Dyer in 11th, right up there where he's been all season. So another good consistent run from him. I wanted to do a comparison basically because we went to Kansas last season at race 4, I believe it was. And this season it's race 7. So it's a little bit further back in the schedule. But um, for those that were with us last season, remember Kansas and really the beginning of the season being a very rough start to the season as well, cautions wise. Um, so last season at Kansas, we had a total of 35 cars in the race, and we had 17 total cautions. This time at Kansas, 3 cars less. So, I mean, take that for what you want, but almost half the cautions, 9 total cautions. I preface that by basically saying we know there was a lot of animosity towards caution so far of what we're at in the season when our best race was probably a road course and it was Coda and it was a rough layout for a lot of people. Um, the oval side has not been great to the start of the season, and that was a big point of a lot of changes coming in this week at Kansas. And to see the improvement at least right away, I think is a little bit reassuring. I'd like to see more improvement from that, but overall, it's a step in the right direction.
I agree. I do think that the racing product overall was a lot better this week. Um, there was a lot more space given for a lot of drivers. I know I had 2 run-ins that were basically my fault. I'll say that, but basically my fault. I mean, I had my viewpoint was different than everybody else's, but I mean, none of it was non-respectful driving. It was just hard racing overall. I mean, there was still space given overall throughout the entire field, and it was relieving to finally get some long green flag. We had green flag pit stops for the first time this season. Holy cow! Was that nice to see? That was awesome.
We had that at Coda.
Okay, that doesn't count. On the oval side, we had green flag pit stops for the first time this season, and it was great to see. I mean, I finally figured out how to save some tires. I was running up at the top 2. Or in the top 3 there for a hot minute, even during when those green flag pit stops came through. So it was. I hope everybody enjoyed the fact that we had green flag pit stops and the long green flag racing. And besides the fact that even if you put aside the whole extremely harsh penalties that we're doing now, that's the product we want to see, that everyone wants to race. And I hope everyone has felt that, enjoyed it, and that is the goal we all want to see.
Exactly. And doing race control for the first time I've ever done it. And granted, we had 4 people technically in the race control booth, if you want to call it. Myself and Adam basically running the show, and then we also had Gavin and Rev with us, helping out when needed, essentially. And man, Rev doing that each week by himself, I gained so much appreciation for doing it with a group around me. It's easy enough when there's one caution every once in a while. Like that first part of the race, we had that first caution with Carl, and then I think was it Richard's caution that followed that?
I was in stage 2.
Remember, I
Yes.
didn't. None of mine pulled a caution.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right. That's right. Sorry. Whenever the first caution came out around lap 30, I want to say it was like lap 32 for whatever reason. Like it was nice. It was easy. Like we didn't have to really do much of anything. Um, and that was pretty much resolved itself. Once it started going for a minute there, it was caution, 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 like 3 back to back to back. It really adds up on the workload of everything going on. Of we got to make sure blacks are being cleared correctly. If it was supposed to be cleared, making sure that someone that got a penalty is actually issued the penalty at the correct time where it doesn't mess everyone up. And there's so many different things going on. And I feel like Adam and I separated what we were doing to benefit us, but obviously it was our first time, so there was a lot to be learned, and we definitely learned a little bit to how to make it better in the future for us. And something that actually came up from Kansas of something I wanted to bring up and hear what y'all think about it, um, is incidents during like green flag incidents that don't bring out a yellow. Should they be associated with incidents that only bring out a yellow? You know what I mean? Of like that fault incidents of I'm gonna bring up the Carl and Coulter situation. Let's just say we determined Coulter to be at fault and spun Carl, even though that we're just saying this for conversation purposes. Would Coulter then be black flagged and have to do a drive through during green flag conditions? Because the caution didn't come out, but he still got away with it. You know what I mean?
Say let it
Yeah,
go.
I mean,
that's a tough one to call. And I know I would say it's just kind of one of those let go things, but it's hard for me to say that because I did have 2 run-ins that
This is all
could
hypothetical.
have, yeah, it could have easily been a caution. And honestly, I think one of them should have been a caution. Fritz, I think that one, I'm shocked that one was not a caution.
Mm,
And I'm thankful it wasn't because that would have parked me and I would not have been a happy camper. But
Even the one with Heath as
Brendan,
well. Yeah, Brendan and Kyle Heath was actually Kyle Heath is the one who got the bad end of it.
he was, yeah.
Yeah.
But like in NASCAR, like that would be a caution. In IRL, I know
Yeah.
we don't try from a race control perspective to throw a manual caution because then that opens the door for potential favoritism and biases and such like that. So really just letting iRacing handle that.
Yep.
But it
Yeah,
goes to
even in IRL NASCAR, there's like wrecks that happen, and everyone's going, "Is there no caution for that?" Like, what? So, I mean, it's even in real NASCAR, they run into situations that we're shocked that it's we're shocked that it's a caution, or shocked that it's not a caution.
right, but should stuff like that be penalized? Like because we definitely could.
No.
It's not hard to give a black flag or even DQ someone during a
No.
green flag run. Like
Let it
it's
go.
possible.
I would let it go.
Yeah, I mean,
You're gonna get yourself into a can of worms, and now you're doing judgment calls, and you don't want to do that.
exactly. And it sucks because I've been on the receiving end of so many of those, but no, you shouldn't do that because if it doesn't result in a caution, it really only affects most likely 2, maybe 3 cars a lot of the time.
Mhm.
Where when a incident involves and brings out a caution, that affects the entire field, that affects strategy, that affects the entire race. So it's kind of, the lesser evil of those things. I think that would be a little bit of overstretch and overreach, as it were. And then on top of that, think about all the work you would have to do on top of maybe throwing a yellow or analyzing a restart. Okay, we have to watch every one of these cars. Oh, I see smoke. Okay, let's rewind and go through. And then who knows what you're missing while you're reviewing that. That just on top of that, I just don't see it practical.
Mark, what do you think? You're here. You're our guest. We don't want you to be completely quiet the entire time. But what do you think on that?
I do definitely think it's a thing where if there's not a caution for it, then I don't think you should put anybody for blame. I mean, yeah, it happened. Someone's definitely at fault, but it's like Carl said, it's not affecting the whole field.
I'm glad y'all are saying that because when it was presented to me, or at least I guess
Brought
the
up.
recurrent issue of it, yeah, it was brought up to me of obviously I saw the the Richard and Brendan and Kyle situation live. I mean, it just so happened to be I was watching that group of cars battling and saw it and was like, man, that's a shame for Kyle in the situation of he's just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It sucks that the caution didn't come out. And if the caution came out, I told Richard, I mean, it would have been under review. My perspective, just watching it live without really going in depth, was that Richard was at fault. And if in case it was, Richard would have been DQ'd. Um, so it really made me question of should we be doing this? But y'all saying what you're saying really opens it up, and like, and you're probably right. Of we don't need to be reaching into that can of worms and over policing all that stuff. If it's not a caution, unfortunately, we don't review it, then kind of thing. But yeah,
Not gonna lie, I should have brought out a caution. I should have just done it because I was already spun out. But I was trying to be nice. I was really had high hopes, and even if I couldn't do something good, I was hoping maybe we can get some of those green flag pit stops. I was hoping to partake myself, but it's just one of those things where I think the common courtesy is if it doesn't bring out a caution, then there's nothing much to review. And if you,
definitely.
at least in my opinion, if you can reduce the chance of a caution, then you should take that no matter what.
Well, and it also goes in fact of if it, at least for Adam and I, while we're seeing stuff, if it seems like a caution came out when it shouldn't have necessarily, like in the instance where you spun down the bottom, that's going to open our eyes to something else. Case in point, Scott Fritz. Um, that was a very interesting situation.
What, spinning out pit road?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Scott Fritz spinning out on pit road, exiting pit road. That is. Um, and we saw it, I think, in the practice race. A caution came out. A car stopped on the apron, the very exact same spot, and for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason, Kansas throws a yellow there. Most tracks, I feel like, don't. And Kansas did. So we went back and we watched his in car, and at first we're just like, you know what? He got on the gas too hard, maybe. Well, watching again, the sound kind of just cut out, and the car just looped. And that's when we're like, well, we should probably take a further look into this. This looks a little suspicious, but then we're also referencing of who benefited and who didn't benefit. And at the time, it didn't make sense of who benefited that he would have done that on purpose kind of situation. Um, and Adam had asked for his telemetry on it so we could review it. And it was all clean. He just money shifted, downshifted, and
Oh,
the car
that's
just
man.
whipped around.
That's what he did.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, we were overlooking that. It was such a simple thing, but yeah, it was just an unfortunate situation, and he felt absolutely terrible about it, bringing out the caution at the point of the race because you don't want to be that guy self-spinning with 10 laps to go to change the whole complexion. But all that to say, basically, we don't want it to be where you get spun to the inside and a caution doesn't come out. Oh, that means you can go bring out a caution now. Not the case because you will be just as harshly penalized, if
Just
not more harshly penalized.
right.
Like I mean, if we're able to fully prove that you intentionally brought out a caution, I mean, you're looking at a suspension
Yeah.
right off the bat. You're not even looking at a drive-through. Like it's a severe punishment. I mean, we saw it in eNASCAR a couple weeks
Mhm.
ago. They actually rescinded that penalty, I believe.
Yes.
They did.
But either way, I just wanted to bring that up. Also, it has been brought to my attention. I'll say it the way he wants to. Breaking news from Saab Bakras. Bakras.
Bacchus? Yeah, we say
Bacchus.
Bacchus.
For those that haven't seen so far, that Patrick Hernandez is stepping away from BRB Racing League. It's an actual letter I have from Patrick written himself. I'll read it real quick.
Oh wow.
To all members of BRB, effective immediately, I will be stepping down from the 91. This decision did not come lightly, but I feel like it is time. I want to express my sincere gratitude to the entire admin team for welcoming me into the league back in 1 and giving me the opportunity to race alongside such passionate and competitive group. It's been an honor to be part of something so special. Heartfelt thank you as well to everyone who supported me and voted for me to receive the most. That recognition means more than words can fully express. Please know that this is not a goodbye, it's more of a see you later. Life brings change, and right now my focus shifts elsewhere. I'm not the same person I was when I joined the league and experienced here with me. Thank you for all the memories, the friendship, and the support. Until we meet again, Patrick Hernandez.
Your mic's cutting out every once in a while,
That-
Steven.
yeah, your mic was cutting out
Oh,
there,
I'm sorry.
Steven. But we did get the very good gist of it. And that's
Yeah.
awesome to hear. Patrick was, man, he was a fast guy on the track. Once he like figured out the car and the track, he was constantly up there in the top 5. It was always just, basically self-induced stuff is what it seemed like. But now Patrick was a great guy. We had him on the podcast, back in season, I think first season of the podcast was season 2.
Maybe season 2.
Yeah, so that's awesome to hear that, I hope whatever's going on in his life is definitely a positive thing. And we definitely can't wait to see you get back and racing alongside us, man.
Yeah, Patrick's been a staple to BRB ever since Charlotte season 1. So race 5, I think it was. And he was with us. He was racing every race from that point on. We saw him peter off a little bit, I think, during season 3, more intermittently. But he came onto the scene and became a real favorite in the garage, I guess you can say.
We have a shirt with his phrase on it. So
I mean, yeah, it's called Patrick for a reason. But no, Patrick's been nothing but great for the league, driving skill wise and just as a person. Tremendous person, very down to earth and just as real as it gets. And not only that, but he lives in Texas, so he's a great person.
just because they live in Texas.
So we need to get a paint scheme out there that says this car sucks.
Something like that.
Carl can run
Yeah.
it.
There you go.
Dang. But with that, let's go ahead and go meatball of the week.
Sure, we could do meatball of the week. Why not? Dum-dum-dum.
So our driver vote this week.
Is
Oh
wow,
my
yeah,
God,
wow.
Steven.
I know you can read that. There's none other than Isaiah Sutherland for getting into the rear bumper of Braden Van Wingert.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
He,
Very similar move to the Selby Renner incident early on in the race.
Sort of. Isaiah's was more of arrow griefing. There was actually no contact between them.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Well,
yeah. The 46, he just ran him over.
according
Yeah.
to the race control software, there was a 4X.
Really?
Say,
Wait, was there a
look on the
4X?
broadcast? There
Like,
was contact.
It was a contact and then the 4X when they got together after the corner.
That's that
Okay. The
warpage.
broadcast, there was definitely no contact.
Yeah,
Very interesting. I find that so bizarre how different, I don't know if it's connections
yeah.
can
That's,
determine different things.
yeah, because on Monday night, Isaiah was blinking out really, really, really bad, and he had an episode on the practice race on Monday night.
I think it's something to deal with the ping rate and
Yeah.
the communication time between the server and each individual system.
Well, nonetheless, I'm surprised that one was the driver vote, is all I'm going to say.
I think he did
Coulter-
want it because he hasn't won one yet.
That's fair. I'm sure that kind of swayed things.
Right.
But Coulter, since you're our guest, I want you to go first. Who is your meatball this week?
I'm gonna have to go Scott Fritz with the pit road incident, just because it's late race, and that just fumbled everybody that just pit. So yeah, Scott Fritz.
I was surprised that one didn't win the drive, since that was one of the options, but definitely a meatball worthy move. Carl, we'll move on to you here.
Oh man, another thing I was thinking about, this is the second week in a row that I've had an incident with a teammate. I'm going to give this one to Johnny Wood Jr. just because even though he's taking it easy, he's still faster than me. there's a lot that needs to be learned about the arrow model and how it affects it affects these cars so much more differently. And what's crazy is if we were in a pack, I don't think it would have affected us as much as it did. But since we were kind of by ourselves and mostly clean air, I think that's another contributing factor. But yeah, having to run in with a teammate is never a good time. So I think this week's gonna go to Johnny.
Typical Limitless for you though.
Exactly.
And Richard, are you also going to go with a Limitless driver?
I feel like you're asking me that because I have a feeling I know who your meatball is.
I don't know.
Oh gosh, dang it! Who do I go with for this one? Tis a good question. Tis a very good question.
If you want to think, I can go ahead and quick fire it.
Yeah, go in quickfire.
All right, Carl. Here's my meatball. It wasn't the fact that you wrecked; it was the overcorrection.
Like I said, I had it saved and I hit that
I
freaking
know.
apron, and since my wheel was already turned, it gripped and shot me right up there. Like I said, I was trying to save it, not bringing out the caution, and in the interest of self-preservation, I should have just locked it down, kept it turned left, and brought out the caution.
Next time, do exactly that. That's what I was gonna say.
Exactly.
Just either keep it hard turn left or lock it down and hard turn left.
Yep.
Whatever it is, just don't be that person that self corrects by themselves into the outside wall 20 laps into a race.
But it's a role I feel so well.
Yeah, it was really weird watching the track map and then just seeing 4X number 71, and I was like, what the heck happened to Carl? And yeah, it was tragic.
Oh man. Well, Carl, you were on my list of who I was potentially going to pick,
Still can.
Womp womp.
but I still could. But Carl's had enough punishment. He only got to run 20 laps. No, I'm not picking Carl. I'm not picking
Yeah,
Carl.
our meatballs of the week this week, 2 Carls.
No,
Oh,
I'm gonna
yes.
have to give it to you know what? I'm gonna give it, and it's gonna be goofy that I give it to this guy because I kind of did the same thing. It's gonna be Matt Selby for running over Nick Renner. Like watching it back on the broadcast because I don't know what happened in the middle of the race. I rewatched the broadcast. I'm watching back in the middle of the race. It just he had a decent gap between him and Nick, and then you just see Selby's car just surge forward right into Nick's rear bumper. It's like, oh, ouch, yikes! So
New tires.
yeah, it had to been a new tire difference. So that's yeah. I'm gonna say for Selby. I mean, it's funny because I kind of did the same thing with Fritz. It wasn't as aggressive as that. That's the wrong word to use because it really wasn't an aggressive
better
thing.
driver than Nick, so he was able to kind of save it without dying. Let's just
I
say
wasn't
that.
going that way.
I'll say it.
Hold on,
it
Fritz
goes-
didn't really save it though because Fritz was sideways in the grass and it didn't throw a caution.
But yeah, I mean, he was smart about it. Nick was like, you know what? I'm killing everyone else.
Yeah.
and it goes into that awareness too. Like I didn't get to watch the entire race. I think I got through 2/3 of it, but that's that's one thing I kept seeing. It was that a lack of awareness. Like everyone's been talking about the new Aero model. We've had it around for a couple of weeks, and it's still not clicking with drivers that you can't race everyone the same way. You have to approach it a little differently, or there's going to be chaos. And I saw that a lot throughout Tuesday's broadcast. What I did see, the Isaiah and the Van Wingerden incidents, the Nick, the Selby. And it does kind of make me a little bit better that I saw a lot of drivers having the same issues. And that could be something we all need to learn and get used to. But I think we need to be a little more aware of that dirty air and the checkups and things that can happen. Coulter.
Hey, I will say this, Carl. Though I know you gave the meatball to Johnny, but going back and watching it, me and Johnny talked. I think you just turned into the turn too hard. You did the same thing
I-
that I did when I spun in front of the field.
I felt like I hit all my markers. That's the thing. I feel like I hit all my markers. So that's I'm pretty sure that I hit all my markers and was fine.
But I will say that
But-
the arrow model now for you following someone that close is definitely insane. You can, as what do we call it, arrow griefing now
Yeah.
is a thing. So you can get someone very sideways or very squirrely just by getting close to their rear bumper.
Mhm. Arrow
Like that.
trolling. I like it.
Arrow
Go ahead and
trolling.
get to our standings. Also want to point out there are only 2 drivers this season that have ran every lap, which is surprising to me. I don't know why. But it's Dustin and Ronnie. If you weren't
Oh
surprised.
wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And only 2 other drivers that have ran almost every lap. So yeah, you've either made it all the way or, well, obviously there's 4 drivers that basically made it all the way, and then everyone else is just dying each week. It seems like with all the cautions.
Yeah, I think Bristol's the only one that I didn't finish.
I was so close.
I think.
I think the only race this year I haven't had damage, and this is gonna be wild, is Iowa.
I think I'm right there with you, Carl. For whatever reason. 9 drivers with 1,000 or more laps. And the max is 1,072. Everyone else under 1,000 laps.
Oh wow.
But standings
Haven't even
wise,
broken 900. Son of a bitch.
yeah, I think I'm sitting there around 400. It feels like, but
Yeah.
Dustin Stallings continues to lead the standings, 23 points over Ronnie Osmer. Kyle Heath coming up to 3rd in the standings. Johnny Wood Jr. in 4th. Christian Barnes with his win moves up 4 spots according to this into 5th, the top 5. Zaya Sutherland 6th. Richard Wolsifer holds steady in 7th. Brendan Maddox up 5 spots into 8th. Dylan Yeager is also tied for 8th, but we're going to give him 9th based off a tiebreaker. 10th being Gray Walker. 11th, Zachary Brandvold, the X Accelerate, the XX driver himself. And then rounding out your chase is none other than
Sam Dyer.
Samuel Dyer the first.
Samuel Dyer the first.
All that being without any stage points or bonus points this season. Still,
Ain't that something?
That is wild.
And then who do you got behind him? Coulter, do you know who's behind Sam?
Coulter.
I haven't looked at the standings.
Oh, well, Coulter, you are behind Sam.
Yeah.
According to the standings, I don't know if it's true. It says you lost 6 spots at Kansas.
It's
in
said that the
standings.
past 3 weeks.
All right, so that's not true because if that was true, you would be in 18th at least.
Yeah.
But
And I don't think I was 7th.
well,
I think it's
whatever it
just
was.
the weirdness of the drop week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're only 3 points. Wait, no, sorry, 5 points out. I was looking somewhere else. We've got a big gaggle of cars there from 13th to, I'll even call it 23rd. You have 10 cars within 30 points. Just looking at it roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, mass mayhem right there.
Yeah.
Some of those people involved. Well, Adam doesn't count, so forget Adam. But you got Nicholas Runner,
Wow.
Matthew Selby, Braxton. He doesn't anymore. I'm sorry.
Hey, we never forget Adam.
RC
Okay.
lives matter too. Braxton Skinner knocking on the door. Carl, yourself. Jared trying to recover from his tough start. Evan Patinko trying to recover from his rough start. Dakota Camper trying to recover from his rough start. I feel like that's been a theme this year. A bunch of people trying to recover, and we're getting to the point though where there's not enough spots in for all those people to recover. So who is going to recover and who's not becomes the real question.
I think desperation is about to set in for a lot of those drivers also when it comes to the stages. Like they're going to be running as hard as they possibly can in the stages to get those extra points because they're going to need them if they want to make their way up to that chase 12.
So like we're going through season 3 again.
It's worse.
It's scary being right there because one mistake, and you're 8 positions back.
You see
So
that
you
with
really got
Carl.
to stay on your toes.
I lost 7 spots.
Yep, from inside the
And
chase to
I am
out
pretty
by a
sure
decent
that
amount.
my DNF in Kansas will be my drop week. So I lost 7 spots with that
Definitely.
being my drop week.
Yeah.
The only way that's not your drop week is if you don't race. Actually,
Exactly.
surprisingly enough. Oh, sorry, I was looking at Jared. That is your drop week.
So yeah,
Not by much,
it's
but
I know because I think Texas I think have to finish
Texas was pretty
24th, but
close.
yeah, I haven't had a good season. I just really haven't had a good season. If I have no damage, Iowa, I can get top 10s, but that's about it.
Hey, you were just outside the top 10 at Daytona.
Yeah,
31 points Daytona.
for a
I think
minute.
11th. I think you finished 11th at
Yeah,
Daytona.
yeah, I think so.
That's about right. And just looking at Coulter, your drop race is also Kansas.
Yeah.
That's what it did. It took that into consideration.
That was
It's
my
been-
first race I didn't finish.
Rightfully so. You're lucky of that being only your first race this season that you haven't been able to finish. That has plagued so many drivers. It was great. What's interesting is Gray Walker's what in the standings? He's up there.
He's
in the
10th.
top 10. His first race, Daytona, is his drop race. He had 1 point.
Mhm.
Take that off the
Wow.
board. Everything else is
Wow.
a very solid
Wait,
race.
he had 1 point at Daytona?
Yep.
What
he got-
happened?
He got ARCA braked by the 21.
Yeah, how did he have
It-
1 point when Adam didn't really even start the race?
We had more than 43 drivers.
We had 46 cars race, I think, didn't we?
No, because we
Uh,
only would have started 43.
Oh, sorry. But everyone outside of the top 40 get 1 point
Oh,
based
okay.
off the point structure.
Oh, okay.
So it's all
Makes sense.
Yep. 41st on back get 1 point apiece. So that's what it broke down to. Gray Walker finished 41st at Daytona. First man out. But I digress. Next week, Charlotte.
Yes,
I have it.
Charlotte.
Sorry, I'm pulling it up of how to pronounce the sponsor because I wanted to get it right. Have it here somewhere. I looked at it this morning and I already forgot.
You better put
How
up the driver
dare you.
votes poll.
We'll pick a winner in a minute. Sorry, you distracted me for a second.
Yay. That's what you get.
It is
Distracted me.
the Okaya
Oh,
250.
oh, it was Blast sponsor.
It is a blessed sponsor. I don't have the logo. I have the logo on my end, but I can't pull it up. But yes, the Okaya 250. And Blay, if you're watching this and I'm still saying it wrong, I'm sorry. I'm terrible at it. But Charlotte, what can we expect from Charlotte? And those watching, if you already have your pick for the winner, go ahead and start typing them out, and we'll make a poll.
Oh man. What to expect from Charlotte? It's going to be another aero defensive race, I think. I think everybody's going to have to search around the track again to figure out where they can get the speed to make passes. I mean, like I said, it isn't hard to pass. It's just it's a different mindset you have to do now because of the difference in the aero. I mean, it is going to be your traditional like favorite type of intermediate. You know, you got your Charlotte, your Atlanta, and your Texas style racetrack. So, I don't know. It should present another great race like Kansas, or it should, but we will definitely have to see.
It's going to be quick. A lot of things are going to happen super quick. I know turn 4 is, at least during previous trips around, it has that mixture of tight loose and loose tight. I enjoy Charlotte. It's one of my favorite oval courses, and I love doing the 600 on iRacing every year. And during that time, I did really well in the top 10 to about halfway through the race and got caught up in an incident. So it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how drivers go through because Charlotte could be multi-groove. You should be able to run 3 cars abreast and be okay for the most part. It's how drivers approach passing in the corner and tire saving. I think tire saving could also be another huge factor if it goes in the direction of fewer cautions.
Which we're definitely hoping is the direction it goes. And I feel like Charlotte typically does. I was going to pull it up. 'Cause I remember, was it season 2? We had our finale at Charlotte, and that was where I had a stop and hold penalty for wrecking King at Martinsville. And then, of course, we go the whole race really without the cautions. I'm pretty sure we only got stage cautions that race, so I wasn't able to get laps back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you wrecked King after the checkered or something like that, or under caution. It was under caution.
Under caution, and
It would have been a park for you.
I don't know. I really don't even remember it.
He's like, I want to put that in the past. Don't stop talking about it, please.
I would do it again. I don't mind it. But,
You heard
um,
it here first, Bakris.
But season 1 we raced here and we had 10 total cautions. Yeah, season 2, season finale, 3 total cautions. 2 of them were stage breaks. So 1 natural yellow. And I feel like traditionally Charlotte is relatively tame, and we do get those long runs, kind of like I feel like Darlington for whatever reason also tends to be into those long green runs, even though it's a difficult track. But it's very different from Kansas. Of you can't necessarily. It's not as wide. It's a lot tougher to make a certain line work. The preferred, other than the preferred line, which I was going to assume is going to be roughly in the middle of turn 1 and 2 and bottom 3 and 4. I don't know with the updates if that changes anything. That'll be interesting to see. And then the whole arrow throws the curveball of, if we're all tight pack racing, is that going to cause more issues? Don't know. Excited to see it though.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm definitely excited, especially how once I figured out how to run the car at Kansas and stage 2, it was a lot of fun to be racing. So if we could do the same thing at Charlotte, or it runs about the same way and feels the same way, it should be a really fun race.
What are your thoughts on Charlotte?
Who?
Coulter. Sorry,
Coulter. Yeah, I cut out again.
Oh, yeah.
I've only ever done open races, so I don't got much. I did some practice, and I kind of just meh. So
Meh.
yeah.
Worst interview ever.
Wow.
Was it Braxton that went on Charlotte with the Martinsville setup?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, and spun it around.
Yeah, that setup.
While listening to Kelly Clarkson.
Yes.
It's a Braxton thing.
Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and pick our winner for Charlotte. And chat vote. Go ahead and put your winner in the chat already. No one has.
Yeah, chat. Who are you picking to win at Charlotte?
But Coulter, you're our guest. Who's winning Charlotte?
I'm gonna go Mr. Points Leader. I'm gonna say Dustin Stallings. Just because I feel like it's his season. I've said it since Daytona, since he won it. I feel like he's not proving himself since he's been here for a while, but I mean, definitely showing everybody that he's someone to mess with, someone not to mess with.
Hard to not choose the points leader and someone that's been so consistent all season. So I get that. Carl, Richard, do either one of y'all want to go, or you want me to go?
Carl, who do you think?
Oh no, pass.
Okay, I will go then. I'm gonna have to go with Ronnie Osmer. He had, I think he's one of our new intermediate ringer. I can't say ringers, but intermediate Masters almost. I think it's going to be a really good race between him and Johnny Wood Jr. all season when we come to these tracks. But Ronnie's got some extraordinary pace, extraordinary tire saving. So I think he had the pace to win it at Kansas, but just that unfortunate last caution of the race kind of, I think, set that to the wayside. But I think he can get it done at Charlotte as long as the cautions don't go against him.
That is a very solid pick. We saw him get it done at Legacy, Texas. Charlotte are cut from the same
You're
cloth.
cutting out pretty
Yeah.
bad, Steven.
Your mic is
don't-
having issues, buddy.
Let me unplug and plug back in real quick.
Okay, sounds good. But Carl, do you have a pick yet
Oh,
while he's doing that?
You know what?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a name, and it's gonna be funny. But I'm gonna say Brendan Maddox. He's been really quick on the mile and a halves. He scored 14 stage points on Tuesday. He was second in one of those stages, finished second on the race. I think he can get around Charlotte. If I remember right, he's always been quick around Charlotte. So Brendan's gonna be my pick for this week.
How bad does that hurt to say that?
I'm immune.
You're immune now.
I'm immune.
All right. Does that sound better?
I mean, you sounded fine. It's just we'll have to see when you start talking whether it cuts out or not.
Well, the fan vote is up now, or the chat vote is up now. And with that, I am going to be going with. I can center that. Gray Walker. I feel like mile and a halfs are where he excels, and don't know if Charlotte is a good track for him.
I believe
Statistically,
he's only done open races.
terrific. Well, I'm still gonna stick with him. I trust him, and Gray is gonna get it done. We're gonna have
He's
another
probably-
good first-time winner.
He's probably screaming right now that you picked him.
Boy screaming angry.
Uh,
Both?
probably angry
No, he's
Well-
probably meow.
or meowing. Yeah,
He's
Probably
probably
meowing. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's gonna listen to
Definitely
the
gets
sad
cat.
cat meow song for like the rest of the week.
Man.
Where is it?
There it is. Who
Exactly
did
that.
it?
But did you see that? Did you see that link I posted on Facebook with that meow song that the guy did on American Got Talent? Live
No.
TV. Yeah, he actually he loves cats, so he started singing on American Got Talent, going meow 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 meow. It's just singing about this freaking cat.
Well, it's official. Robert Moyer Jr. will be racing with Accelerate Cat Motorsports next season.
Oh, that's a cool name for a team. I would say something, but we got to keep it PG.
I forgot to mention while this
I've heard a
poll is
lot.
still going, I did update the team standings today, but I told everyone that you're not getting pretty graphics until we get 5 cautions or less. And from what I remember when I was updating it this morning, I know Limitless still is at the top, and I believe Maverick is second, roughly 23 points back. Don't quote me. That's a rough estimate. And then the biggest point gainers this week was Meatball Motorsports with a actual league record for team points in a week of 41 points. So that's a little snippet there.
A win and a 6th place finish. That
Yeah.
definitely helps.
That will do it. But all right, our poll
Fan
is
vote's
over.
up.
And Samuel Dyer the first is the fan vote.
Wow,
Woohoo! Go,
Sam gets
Sam!
the win.
Well, his
Well,
season's screwed.
He gets the win in the fan vote. Yeah. Whenever the season's over, he can look back to this moment and know that the rest of the league cursed him.
Oh, Sam got the league vote curse.
It's never good, right? Because I mean, Carl did last week, and what happened to him?
Exactly.
Actually, I kind of
Dun
want to look
dun
into this.
dun.
There seems to be some sort of trend going on. So
Well,
Is there?
Dustin is
I
leading
don't
the
know what.
standings, so that's
Yes, that's
something.
different though. But like, what happened to them that race when they did it? Let's see.
See.
So if we go back, let's go. Let's start at the beginning.
Oh
Let's go
no.
with King. So King was first pick, and he ended up finishing 33rd. Ronnie was then picked for Iowa, and Ronnie finished 6th. Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
But it's Ronnie. For Michigan, Dustin Stallings was picked. He finished 3rd.
Yes, he was.
That's good. And then Ronnie was picked for Coda. Oh. Am I blind? Was he not there for Coda, or am I just blind?
I think he
Thought I
got like
saw him there for
second.
Coda.
Oh, he did get second. Okay, I just completely missed it. So he finished second. Okay. So if Ronnie or Dustin are picked, they end up finishing well. But I mean, I think that's standard with them regardless. So maybe there isn't anything to it yet, but we'll figure it out.
Sam, that is so
It's-
silly.
I don't know what exactly is silly, whether or not you won or
He won the fan vote for the race win.
Sam, that's what I was thinking when they gave it to me last week.
like what happened.
Yeah, but Sam makes
Just
20
run more than
laps
20
more.
laps.
Yeah, he makes more than 20 laps.
He's going to score
Exactly.
21 laps next week, and then he'll pull a Carl.
You know what? Sam's gonna hit that bump on pit exit, not me.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Good reminder for everyone, Carl. If we have green flag pit stops, be very careful exiting pit road.
Yeah,
Don't forget.
Coral.
They'll forget. I'll
Any
remember.
pit
but they'll
stop. Doesn't matter if it's under yellow.
That's true.
I'm going to set up a camera right there.
forget. We should. The pit spin camera.
It's a good call. But with that, how about we go into the Sundance Pizza sit down?
Hey, we could do that.
Sundance Pizza, sit down.
Let me pull up the questions. Here we are. Coulter. How's it going, buddy?
Pretty good.
uh,
Kind of confused with
I don't know if you.
that.
I don't know how many of these you've watched with the Sundance Pizza sit downs, but you know what they are.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Well, you're
No.
a guest. You're a
Really
guest
confused.
for the podcast. So, what it is, just a moment for us to sit down and get to know you a little bit more. We race with you on the track, but we don't know you outside of the Discord, of the league, of iRacing. So that's all this is for, just for us and everybody watching to get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
So, it is a few questions, and just so you know, the last one is probably the hardest question that we will ask you. So you don't have to worry till then. And Carl can vouch for that. First question is, where are you from?
I was born in Norman, Oklahoma, and I currently reside in Oklahoma City.
Well, that was super simple. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we usually get like a really long like life lesson from the older
Well,
crowd. But it makes sense. It makes sense. So second question is, what do you do for work, your free time, etc., outside of iRacing?
For work, I do hydro excavating. So basically, I uncover pipes, wires with water. And then free time, I golf. I do that for school, but other than that, nothing crazy.
You do that for school, like you got a school team that you golf for?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So when did you start iRacing and what got you into it?
Well, so I started iRacing back in 21, but I'd never really tried. But recently, since the start of last season, me, Braxton, and Gray all got into it and started league racing. So that's when I really started trying.
How'd you meet
Gotcha.
them guys?
Roblox racing. That's where we all
Okay.
started.
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Where-
Like, you guys came over to iRacing, obviously, from the Roblox, because we know you guys as the Roblox kids.
Yeah.
So how give give us the timeline of like how the Roblox thing started and why you guys decided to finally roll over into the iRacing side for League Racing.
It's a long story. So
That's
Oh,
fine.
That's
Buckle
fine. We
up.
got time.
so being a kid, you're playing your average NASCAR games on Roblox. We didn't have wheels, so that's what we did. Keyboard and mouse on Roblox.
Can I pause you
So-
for a second?
Go
You
ahead.
said your average NASCAR game, and then you said Roblox. That does not compute with this Holder crew.
I get it.
We're a 12-year-olds, Roblox.
Yeah, I get you.
All sorts of stuff.
Young college kids.
Yeah, mostly college girls.
That's
Um,
crazy. You call me a female?
Okay, Stefina.
So
It's the tiny knees.
so one day this guy hits me up. He's like, "Hey, I got this racing league. You want to join?" So I'm like, "Sure." And then it just eventually it grows from there. Braxton owned a league that I joined, and then I started racing for him. And then a year or so later, Gray joined, and then we started racing with him. So really from there, we all slowly started getting wheels, pedals. And then Braxton met this guy who our team owner, Noski, and asked me and Gray if we wanted to join, and we did. So now we're here.
So were y'all on a team together within Roblox Racing, or is it Row Racing?
It- Yeah, you could call it either. But Braxton had his own team called Milky Way.
And so
Like
y'all all
candy.
drove on. That's how y'all became close with
Yeah,
each other.
yeah,
Okay.
basically, yeah.
And was it similar of like the racing, or I guess like the league racing on there? Of was there a Discord for it? Were there like
Yeah.
team channels and similar
So,
setup?
our team had a Discord, and then the actual league itself had a Discord, just like BRB. And we had set times to do races. We had officials. We had guys who made the tracks, made the cars.
Wow.
It's surprisingly technical for Roblox, and I
How
did
would
it for
y'all
a little
deal with,
while.
like, the lag within Roblox, because those that don't know, I'm sure it was a big deal of like there's some
Well-
serious like I don't know if it's server lag of like with the contact and stuff. Like you think netcode's bad on iRacing?
Until you get to Roblox.
Yeah.
There's certain chassis that are different. So there's tank chassis and I think they're A chassis. Tank chassis, the wheels don't turn. Like they'll move, but they don't turn left or right. So it basically looks like you're driving a tank. And those have contact, like you don't drive through each other, but A chassis, you're basically driving through each other. It's like ghost cars. So most leagues use tank chassis, but the lag was definitely there, but it wasn't terrible.
Because like weren't there there had to have been scenarios where it was like a close finish, like someone thought they won based off their connection, but someone else technically won it based off the scoring. Like I just see like a lot of issues
It's
with
so weird.
Roblox of like not really being
It
able to
is.
support any
Well,
sports thing.
The timing system is very weird in a sense. It's a timing system. It works, but you have 2 sectors and then a start finish line. And the leaderboard only updates once you hit the start finish line. So you're going a whole lap without an interval until you hit the start finish line. It's so weird because like a person's ping or anything can change it by a tenth.
High ping runs faster. I don't know.
Interesting. Well,
It's weird.
My question, though, real quick,
Yeah.
Richard. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but my question, Coulter, is when you went from that to iRacing, what in your mind? Like, I mean, that's a huge jump from something like that to something like iRacing.
Yeah, it is, and it's a whole lot of getting used to. But luckily, I'd had a wheel for a little while, so I'd played the NASCAR Heat games on wheels.
Okay.
You know, I had some experience, but no sim experience.
Right.
So
But you had the
it's
gist of
different,
it.
but it's yeah.
Is there anything that you can take or that you still do take from Roblox, like into iRacing that's transferable?
The only thing I could say is patience, probably, but yet I don't have a lot of that.
You know, Carl knows.
Carl looked up quick.
Immediately looked up.
Soon as
That's
Coulter's like
something-
patience, Carl's like,
Yeah, something I've definitely been trying to work on this season is patience. But really, no, just because keyboard and mouse to steering wheel and pedals, you know, it's janky to, you know, actually professional,
Mhm.
which yeah.
Interesting.
Gotcha. No, that's very interesting movement from being in Roblox, meeting everybody from Accelerate there, and then coming over to iRacing. And we're glad to have you guys here. It's definitely brought an interesting perspective from us to
That
have
it
some guys
has.
come from Roblox over to be iRacing. So
When I found
Well-
out about it, my head just shook, going, "What?"
You weren't the
So-
first.
moving on to the next question. Your favorite and least favorite tracks on iRacing. It can be oval, road course. It don't matter. Any track throughout the entire sim. What's your favorite and least favorite tracks?
Man, that's a tough one for favorite. My least favorite track is gotta be, and Richard, I'm sorry to say this, but it's Worldwide Technology. I hated that track. I could not figure it out at all.
Why'd you say
Um,
sorry?
Well, you said something on podcast last week about flat tracks and how much you love them.
Oh
That one's
yeah,
not
yeah.
quite
Yeah.
flat.
It's not quite flat, but it's yeah. Okay, fair,
Closer.
fair.
Yeah. But I just that whole race for me sucked. But good tracks. I haven't been doing this long enough to really have a favorite track.
So
But-
Daytona, got it.
No, I'll probably say Michigan, but that's just because a bunch of open lobby races before coming to BRB that helped me a lot. So the first race when we came to Michigan, I was able to lead laps, you know, run up there with Adam.
About that. That was a lot of fun watching y'all.
Yeah. So that's probably my favorite.
What's your favorite track
So-
in real life? Michigan or
In real life, it's Kansas.
Kansas? Oh.
Yeah, I love to go to Kansas.
Awesome, awesome. So past or present, who is your favorite NASCAR driver? Past and
Currently,
present.
it's Chase Elliott. But my past would be Jeff Gordon.
Oh,
You're a good man, Coulter Clark.
That's-
oh
Good man.
Jesus! No, he's not.
At least it's not Denny Hamlin. I think we all can agree on that.
And he would be
I
a
have-
great
Or
man.
Logano.
Or a Logano. At
Or
least you're not a
Logano.
Logano
Or
fan,
Logano.
also. So.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready for the last, final, and hard question of the Sundance Pizza Sit Down?
I guess.
All right. Are you on your seat? Are you ready to think about this? All right. Take some thought.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. You're on a long road trip and you got to stop and get some gas. When you go in the gas station,
drive?
what is the one snack and one drink you get from the gas station?
Man, you're gonna have me stressing about this one.
Told
It
you.
depends
That
what
was
mood I'm
hard.
in.
It's a hard one.
It depends what mood I'm in. Lately I've been getting that it's like a Worcestershire Chex Mix.
Oh, the bold one.
Yeah, bold and
Yeah.
savory.
Good. It's the black
That's what.
bag.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I've been doing. And
Those
then
are good.
for a drink, it's either a Dr. Pepper or a Glacier Freeze Gatorade.
The light blue one.
Yeah.
That'd be the blue one.
Dr.
Awesome.
Pepper.
I respect it. I respect
What's wrong with
it.
Dr. Pepper?
I did.
That was
Did
an
I say it? Was there
off-the-wall
anything wrong with it? I
accurate
just
right
said
there.
Dr. Pepper. What?
Dr. Pepper.
Gotta
is
stay awake.
godsend. Don't act like Dr. Pepper is filled with caffeine to keep you up.
It's the sugar rush.
It's
You
the
get
sugar
it.
rush.
sugar
Yeah.
rush.
that's fair.
The
It
sugar
is
rush.
the sugar rush. Well, Coulter Clark, thanks again for sitting, hanging out with us, doing the Sundance Pizza sit down, everybody. That is Coulter Clark of the 54 machine for Accelerate Racing.
Thanks.
Where are we going after this, Steven? It's your show now. I did the Sundance Pizza sit down.
You did a great job. I think you're ready to take over the podcast.
Yeah, you're hired.
Obviously,
I'm not
one-
paying you though.
leaving. He's leaving. He's all right.
Got better
Well,
things to do.
Obviously, we want to thank our sponsors. I haven't thanked them yet this evening. It's been slipping my mind, but they're the ones who get the bills paid. Those being Butt Kicker, the leader in haptics, Sundance Pizza, Ascendance Trucks, Ideal Lease, Maddox Graphics, Performance Food Group, Rev Sim Shop, and Advanced GG. Promo code for Advanced GG is WolfXLive10 for 10% off your orders, and all the proceeds go directly back into funding the league. And also be sure to check out the BRB merch hauler for merch goodies.
What are we looking at? Hold on. Kitty.
That is-
Meow.
Oh no.
I had to do it for
Meow,
Grey
meow,
Walker.
meow, 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 meow. Meow,
Do it for Gray.
meow, 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 meow.
There you go, Coulter. So, some stuff for the kids table.
Yeah.
You all still use the kids table?
No.
I'm telling you, we need to rename it to the litter box, and they might use it.
Open it and it's King.
Or just
King
make
and
it a
Florida
make it
Panther
a
gift.
hidden channel that only Zach King can say for his hockey stuff.
Well, it's off season now, so don't have
Thank
to worry about that
God.
for a while. Oh goodness gracious. Well, I really don't have anything else. I'm good to wrap it up if y'all are good.
The only thing I got to say, guys, is I mean, we did a fantastic job at Kansas. Don't let that get to your head. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's have another good race at Charlotte.
Amen.
Ooh,
And-
we should bring
Because-
up the Powder Puff race because that's
Yes.
for Charlotte.
Thank you,
too.
Carl. Good call. Let me see who.
That's
all
in 2
has-
weeks.
It is in 2
Yes.
weeks. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we have Charlotte next week, and then the week after that's the Powder Puff race. So get your sister, your daughter, your mother, your significant other, your wife, your girlfriend,
Your cat.
get them signed up. Your,
Still only 5.
They've
drivers
already made
signed up.
attempts, so
we still only have 5.
5. Yes, still only at 5.
We need to make another
we have to-
announcement.
yeah, making
Oh!
and then repost that link. So
Also,
let's do that.
Charlotte is round 2 of the bonus brawl. Don't forget
Oh.
your decals.
That's right.
Good
And it's
call.
the patriotic race as well. So bring
Oh,
out
yeah, that's
and
right,
bust
too.
out those patriotic schemes.
That's right for the 4th of July next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
July next
And
Friday.
this Sunday's my birthday. Just wanted to throw
Oh,
that out
happy
there.
birthday.
Birthday.
Happy
No.
birthday, Robert.
Robert is
Sure.
going on vacation this weekend. He will be at the exact location where I'm going to drop a pin and I'm going to put it in the announcement section. Please feel free to surprise him.
Oh boy. I love you all.
Love you too, sometimes.
Sometimes.
All
And
right.
sorry, just wanted to say one last thing. If you were curious of our thought processes for penalties during races, Adam was so generous to stream our race control view. So feel free, excuse me, if you want to see what we did or what we said about you during a certain incident, please feel free to tune into Adam's stream or watch the recorded of the stream.
Or the broadcast, I can call you out.
Yeah, you can call them out too. Sure. Well, we will probably call them out a little bit more.
Yeah.
still, because
Yeah. No.
We don't necessarily have people.
No,
watching, but
I don't try to do that.
But that's our job to call people out
Exactly.
in Adam's stream. So
Exactly.
what we do. But well, that wraps us up. Coulter, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, of course.
It was a pleasure having you and learning a little bit more about the road racing world, the cult following of such.
Yeah.
Carl, Richard, Robert, thank you guys, thank you gentlemen for being here this week. Carl, hopefully you have it better next week. And
Fingers crossed.
Don't count on it.
yeah, I
Yeah,
will.
I'm not
Just
holding
don't do
my
the practice
breath.
race. Just don't do the practice race, and then treat the real race as a practice race.
There you go.
Oh man. Thoughts occurring.
With that, let's go ahead and buckle it up.
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 Coulter.
Oh,
Buckle it up.
fail.
My fault.
Oreo
die.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next week, next Tuesday, for the something 250.
Okay.
Broadcasting. Jesus. And then we'll catch you for the podcast here next Thursday. Good night.
Peace out, everybody.